Saturday night, it's Twisted Tuesdays. LFG.
Hello, hello. Welcome back, one and all. Yeah, I hope that this microphone is working. And yeah, today we are going to be doing a semi-deep dive into the wacky waters of Twisted Metal 2. Yeah, last time we did a similar look at Twisted Metal OG from 1995 and highlighted, some of the differences between that game and this one. And now we're kind of jumping back, doing a 180, back to my typical modus operandi here. Many viewers have seen me play or attempt to play this game in the past. And tonight we're going to do it once again. This time with a similar, approach as the Twisted Metal 1 video. We're going to be talking about some of the major differences and improvements and other, changes, differences between the last game and this one. Yeah, so I'll wait for a few people to trickle in. I think we, for old time's sake, might as well just jump right in to the little intro video that this game has.
Facts, Rob Rat Poison.
What up, Robbie Rat Poison? What up, Joe M43? Team Spliff in this bitch. Let's, without further ado.
Nobody trickling in.
You're probably right about that. All right, I'm going to mute my mic for a second while I, do a couple of things while this video plays, and then we'll dive right into the action, baby.
My name is Calypso. Exactly 1 year ago on Christmas Eve, my Twisted Metal contest destroyed the City of Angels. Down below, life has come to a halt as survivors struggle to stay alive.
Calypso! Calypso, what have you done? What have you done?
With the city
Savage.
Nothing left to destroy. I face a dilemma. Where will this year's Twisted Metal contest take place? 14 of the world's best combat drivers have already been chosen, ready to battle to the death in the hopes of becoming the victor and claiming whatever prize their brave hearts desire. But where will the contest be held? Oh, the world will be my battleground. Paris, Hong Kong, even Antarctica. There will be no safe zones this year, no places to hide. In the next 24 hours, the entire world will know my name. They will see my beautiful work of art firsthand. No one will be safe. I promise you that. Good luck, driver. Welcome to Twisted Metal.
Welcome to Twisted Metal 2. Yeah, so right off the rip, we have quite a visual overhaul, in this game.
No one will be safe. I promise you that.
I promise you that. So this game, so Twisted Metal 1 originally had, I didn't even get to talk about this last time, but there were live action movies filmed for each of the character endings that, they got cut from the game ultimately in place of these kind of lame text scroll endings. And it was only because Sony, either the Sony Computer Entertainment America or the Japanese division, I don't remember which one, they ultimately deemed them too, inappropriate. There's some, very crude, I don't want to say sexual, but there's some scantily clad women in those videos and other stuff. So they ended up axing them, and they didn't even get released until, over 10 years later to the internet and on the special edition of a later Twisted Metal game, the PSP game that got ported to PS2. On that PS2 expanded edition, it has all this lost Twisted Metal content, and those videos are on the end. One of the things there. Anyways, in this game, we have, as you just saw, the Calypso's, that whole little intro movie, the animated style there, which is awesome. And the ending videos of Twisted Metal 2 all have that same, comic book moving panel animation style, which is excellent. Also, this game marks the first appearance of Mel McMurrin as the voice of Calypso, who is the iconic, to this day, anyone will tell you, that is the Calypso voice. He reappeared in TM3, minor role in TM4, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And the fans are clamoring for him to come back in some form in a future iteration of the franchise, but we will cross that bridge if and when we ever come to it, folks. So we have this is the little splash intro. Right off the rip, we're greeted with the remix of the original Twisted Metal theme that I alluded to in the last video. This is the Tude version. This is the, yep.
Propane blunt spitting facts off the cuff with the gift of gab.
Yeah, you know that. You know what I do. Yeah, so we'll just kind of do it like last time. We're going to talk as we go. I'm going to attempt a hard mode tournament run here. Make sure we're on hard mode. Of course we are. Let's dive right in, boys and girls, and anyone else that may be viewing. So, I don't really know who I'm going to be. If anyone in the chat has a suggestion who you'd like to see me mop the floor with this tournament, go ahead and shout that off. Is there Axel? All right. First come, first serve, baby. Easy mode on hard mode, but you know what? It's fun. Also, I'm going to be rusty because I haven't played this game in probably a year. So, yeah, I'm just going to kind of freeball it as we roam here, boys and girls and others. Yeah, so, here. One of the things that I talked about in the TM1 video, hang on, you got to deal with Sweet Tooth, because if you don't, he will fuck your shit up. Have to fuck him up. Oof, I'm already fucked. He's already fucked, though. Turning in place. Right, so in TM1, as we saw in the last video, you cannot turn in place. Oof, shouldn't have got that health. It's okay. You can't turn in place in TM1, which, is realistic, but it's boring, and it's a pain in the ass. In this game, well, not at a dead stop, but when you're stuck in your place, you can still freely rotate in place. Oof. Uh-oh. Cursed. Hang on.
Remember, you called this easy mode. If you lose, you gonna feel real silly.
No, I feel really silly every time I wake up and the sun returns. Just inherently. So, no skin off the back. No skin off the back. It shouldn't have wasted that health, but you know what? I'm rusty. All right, let's get it. We got to get some turbo. The weapon icons. Talk about that for now. In this game, so in TM1, the weapon icons are all kind of boring.
You raged this regularly in 2024 and early 2025.
Yeah, it will also in late 2023. Quite a lot. That was when I first it was the day we all raged, actually. I want to say like September 2023, and it was, coming up. These games all got released on PSN just like days before the first season of the TV show came out, and I have TM1 and TM2 on a compact disc still, and a PS1 to play them. So I had been grinding in TM2 since like not long after the show got me kind of back into grinding these games. And then when I really started getting back into it, I was just like, fuck it. I'm just going to buy the TM2 version that got ported to PS4 and 5 just so I can stream them. And I did that. And the day that I did that, it was, excuse me, a day that we had all assembled. I remember I had made a special trip to the Modern Butcher to grab a roast beef, and then we all met up at Rob M's. Don't ask me how I remember that, but I do. That was the day I got this. And, yeah, since I have managed to beat hard mode with every character on stream, but I didn't save the videos of most of those. So,
Simpler times.
Simpler times for sure. Anyways, the weapon icons. We got this. Oh, you motherfucker. Oh, he blasted me back, that bastard. God, I can't even be mad at it. That was a great maneuver. Fucking annoying. Head in the game. Well, at least Sweet Tooth is dead, but Spectre is not dead, and that's kind of a problem. Let me switch some shit up. That's what I need. Yeah, so this game lets you, like this format for the weapon screen, an itemized list. I personally prefer. The icons are great, but I just like being able to see at any given moment how much I have of any given thing. Hold on, being kind of sloppy here. Yeah, but the weapon icons themselves, the pickups like that are on the map, a lot more visually expressive in this iteration of the game. In TM1, they're all similar to the PS1 game Warhawk, which is made by the same single-track company, which I'll cover at a later time. They're these, like, pink circles that all kind of look the same, and they just have a different, weapon inside them, but you can't really tell at a distance what weapon you're picking up, what power-up you're picking up. In this game, every weapon pickup has its own visual identity, which I think is nice. This game, we talked about the energy attacks and the lack thereof in the original Twisted Metal. Not the case in this game. Not the case. Yeah, this is the first game that has them. The freeze, being finally... Oof, I'm dead if that fucks up. Ooh, the shield. Still not looking good, but it's alright. If I die, this is a review. I'm not as, hard bent on my protocols as I normally would be if I was just grinding for my regular shits and giggles. Where was I? Spectre. Nice, boys. That's huge. Gives us a chance. Warthog is going to be a pain, but wow, my shield game is on point. Oh, and I got killed by a reverse ricochet bomb, boys. It's all right. It's part of the grind. Part of the grind.
You were talking about energy.
Yes, and the energy attacks. Huge part of this game. So the drop mines, right, left, down. If you look behind Axel, you can see him showcasing these right now. These are a huge strategic advantage if you know how to use them. In the top left of the screen, there's a radar, right? And you can use that. You can use, let me engage the rear view mirror here. Rear view mirror also helps, but, radar kind of usurps that in priority. You can place drop mines behind you when you know that people are coming for you, and they're very useful. They're very powerful. When added up, when subsequent mines placed in strategic locations, you can really fuck people's shit up. So that's just one of the major energy attacks. Up right is the shield, right? So that's another very crucial mechanic. Not an option at all in the previous iteration of the franchise. Then the freeze. There we go. Oh, nice. Now Mr. Slam, aka Mr. Freeze, he likes to use that quite a lot against you, the player. and on hard mode especially, but just in general, the AI is pretty ruthless in this game, and they will freeze you. They will freeze you a lot. There's my own mind, that's fine. So, if you don't freeze back, well, you need to seriously recalibrate your priorities. Yeah, you need to freeze. Especially with this fucker. Whoa! You need to freeze. Especially with Thumper, the man of the flame. He's trying to steal my health pickup, and that's so lame. Alright, so we're getting close to level 2. I might as well talk about level 1. So, this is LA. In Twisted Metal 1, the entire game takes place...
Why did you suicide it?
Yeah. Boredom. In Twisted Metal 1, the entire game takes place in the city of Los Angeles, right? In different quadrants of the realm. In Twisted Metal 2, we have a world, you know, as alluded to in the video that I showed off in the intro video with Calypso. He has this epiphany, like, why am I just limiting this to LA? The world shall be my battleground, right, as he says. Yeah, so in this game we have that. We have Twisted Metal 2 World Tour. And so this first level is in, clearly the ruins of LA. And then from here, we jump around to all different corners of the globe. But this level, right off the rip, this is a major point I want to talk about during this review, is just the difference of level. The difference in the quality of the levels across the board from TM1 to TM2, right? TM1 has some very functional, but let's just say bare bone levels. For the most part, nothing really too worth writing home to mama about in Twisted Metal 1, right? A lot of kind of boring levels. For the most part, they're very flat. Some are too big for their own good. Some are too small for their own good. But they're just, they're not really exceptional in any meaningful way. They're functional. LA, actually, I wish I stayed longer there. Hold on, I have to focus. Moscow is a serious thing. So we'll talk about all the levels. In Moscow, you want to put a remote bomb right in the middle of that teleporter thing as soon as you can, because someone will inevitably run over it. And hang on, oops. They'll damage themselves, but also this level is very scarce on pickups of any kind. Scarce on health, scarce on everything. Let me get that health, though. When you blow up those little bridge supports, they all hide one pickup within them. Very crucial to open that shit up as soon as you can, because you need everything you can get in this level. I usually try to stock up on homings on LA. Not necessary, but it's just, homings are very helpful for it's hard to hit people in the very tight quarters and confines of this level. Yeah, this is Moscow. So let me get through Moscow, and then we can maybe talk about LA finally. Oof, it's such a huge part of Twisted Metal 1. Axe is kind of like the torchbearer there, like for real. Alright, now we have a little bit of breathing room, but still not a lot of breathing room. Not as much breathing room as I would like. Mainly because Sweet Tooth is still in existence, and he is a fucking parasite. With that special that he just loves to spam so much. Grasshopper also is kind of a parasite of her own. If we can get some freezes in the mix. We need some axle power, baby. Alright, so the mines come in clutch here. Oh, Oh, the health is so nice. You're saying there's a chance. We are saying that, buddy. The mines are clutch when Grasshopper's doing this fucking thing where she just follows you like the tick that she is. Those ice cream cones will get you, though, and my own fucking mine might get me. Alright, we want to stay on a different plane than Sweet Tooth because those fucking napalm cones will fuck me up if I let them. Hit him with that napalm, which is very clutch. I have a few too many napalms right now.
Vocalize your grasshopper imitation.
Yeehaw! Ooh, if I can kill Sweet Tooth with a reverse napalm, dude. I mean, I have so many, I might as well try, right? Oh, God, I hate her. I fucking hate that bitch. That's not my best performance right now, friends. I don't have enough for... Oh, she's gonna kill me. Maybe, maybe not. I need to chill. Sweet Tooth is almost dead. If I can get him fucking taken care of. Oh my God. Alright, nice. We actually do have a chance. Boom. With the freeze.
Russia Life.
Russia Life, baby. Where's all my Cyrillic speakers? Yeah, so that's kind of like the little, you know, condensed clusterfuck dungeon level of the game, like the warehouse of the, you know, TM1 opening level. But LA, which I wish I showcased more, just that level alone, you know, has so much dynamics going for it.
Straight chaos.
Holland is straight chaos, and we will definitely show that off, whether I get there on this tournament run or not. But Moscow is also its own form of condensed chaos because it's just so small and there's so few power-ups of any kind. Well, hang on. Place this here. So the Eiffel Tower, this is obviously Paris, but this is the first... Wait till he hits it. Yeah, it's already happened. So I placed that remote bomb so someone would hit it when they hit the teleport. But you can place it underneath it, detonate it yourself, and it does the same thing where the Eiffel Tower becomes a bridge when it blows up in oof, that's not good. Turns into a bridge to the rooftops of Paris, right? And this was the first thing I ever witnessed on the Sony PlayStation. This kid who lived across the street from my grandmother's house in Framingham invited my brother and I over
Eiffel Bridge
to watch, you know, to show us Twisted Metal 2. Back in 1996 when it was brand new, and we had never seen PlayStation at all. And the first thing we see is this level, and he showed us, you know, how you can blow up the Eiffel Tower with a remote bomb, and it was the coolest fucking thing I have ever seen in my life. Still to this day, is the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. Mind-blowing, and actually sparked kind of a obsession with the Eiffel Tower itself for me for a while as a little kid, but also this game. And eventually we got a Sony PlayStation, and then we would rent Twisted Metal 2 almost on a weekly basis for a while. And on my birthday, and I want to say 1997, I was like, Mom, do you think since it's my birthday we can rent Twisted Metal 2 again from Video Island in Middleton? And she was like, oh, sure, Mark, but first, why don't you open your present? And I opened my present, and it was, sure enough, Twisted Metal 2. Oof, nice freeze. And, yeah, the rest is history. Been playing it relentlessly, you know, off and on ever since. But this level, this is where it all really began. My whole PS1 legacy before I ever even played Crash Bandicoot for the first time. You know, we got Crash Bandicoot 1 the day we actually got the PlayStation back in, you know, sometime probably in early 97. But Twisted Metal 2 was just the, you know, the first game that I ever played for the console. Incredible game, and here we are to talk about it. So this is kind of a cheap little camping nook spot But, you know, in this, especially in hard mode, you have to use what you can to your advantage to upset the odds that are just so blatantly and overwhelmingly stacked against you at all times. Yeah, Paris, man. So this is, you know, this is one of the grid cities, almost like a callback to TM1 in the grid city aspect, Hong Kong being the other one. But at least in this game, and this is one of the things that these levels do so well in this game, is that there's actual dynamics. There's height dynamics, you know, there's shit going on besides just being a fucking boring ass flat level. We have this, not just the whole rooftop dynamic here, but you have the little lower area with the water. Am I gonna really die again? Like this. With certain cars, you can actually turbo yourself right up to the rooftops. I don't think that Axel is capable of doing that. I stand corrected, though. Oh, come on. No. Oh, there is a health. If I can get back to the fucking Louvre. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. So you're saying there's a chance. All right. Let's exploit the cheapo zone again. Fucking Spectre. Nice. Oh, that was a great combo, boys. We needed that one. Oof. Beautiful. They took out Spectre for me. Okay, so the pedestrians. Might as well talk about them. So in Twisted Metal 1, we have violent pedestrian, you know, what do we call them? Gestapo agents.
Bro is missing an arm.
He is missing an arm, very tragically. And ironically, well, I won't give away his ending movie until we get to his ending movie. But, yeah, there's a little, I guess, subtle foreshadowing there. Alright, so Roadkill's above me. I'm not worried about him. And then Thumper.
LOL, I noticed that too.
So the pedestrians, once again. So in TM1, they're violent and they shoot at you, and it's very annoying. You know, you don't really have much of a safe zone of any kind at any point in TM1. You try to stop and catch your breath. There are enemy NPCs that are just gunning away every second of the day at you. In this game, they are not violent. They are just present for you to run over, right? And there's a splatter, I forget what it's called. There's some kind of bonus for running over 10 of them in a level. Oh, that napalm doesn't have a chance. So I'm going to try to showcase that here, I guess. You have to run over 10 pedestrians in a row, you know, with no machine gun kills in between. And I think they call it the mercy bonus. I want to say that's what it's called. We will see. I think I just got 4. Focus for a second. Is that all? Thankfully, this level has quite a lot of these pedestrians to, you know, demonstrate this with. Alright, can't let Thumper get to me. I can leave a shitload of mines for him to run over, though. Oh, God, am I gonna die? Because of some fluky fuckerism? No, well, maybe. Probably not. We'll see. Focus, boys. Focus! Alright, well, we didn't do it there. And on Amazonia, there are no NPCs. So maybe in New York, we'll showcase that. But trust me that if you do hit 10 little pedestrians in one level, you get 5 homing missiles and a very small amount of life. You get a little bit of health. You get maybe like a fifth of a life bar back, which actually, can't take for granted in this game. Amazonia, what a level here. So this is the first truly exotic level that we get to see in Twisted Metal as an entire franchise. This is some, ancient Brazilian ruins, you would think, with the title Amazonia. Yeah, lava everywhere. Always love to see that. Why am I wasting powers? Why am I wasting powers? Trying to clear my inventory so I can get these homers. Inventory is capped at 24 items in this game. In TM1, I don't know if there is an inventory cap at all. It's definitely more forgiving than in this game, if there is one. So yeah, you have to work around that. Actually, using the pedestrian, the thing I was talking about, where you get the 5 homers and the health, you can actually surpass that inventory cap through a glitch. And I don't know the exact specifics of what triggers it, because I've tested it, and sometimes it happens and sometimes it does not happen. But it's pretty cool that that is a thing. Oh my god, this bitch. Don't you fuck up my fucking full health protocol. Alright. Come on now. Here we go. This is kind of a little strat. Put the remote bomb there, so whoever tries to fire you up inevitably hits it. Gets rid of a good amount of their health. Boom, now he's gone. And yeah, we have some minion strats, which we'll talk about when we encounter minion shortly.
Demented bonus.
Demented bonus, that's what it is. So Minion, who actually I didn't get to showcase in the TM1 video because I didn't make it to the rooftops where we encounter him. But Minion is an iconic, he's probably the iconic boss of Twisted Metal as a whole, period. He's the final boss of Twisted Metal 1. And he comes back as the mid-boss in this game. So, shortly we will encounter him and we'll get to talk about all that good stuff. A lot of fun battling our old buddy Minion. But we'll cross that bridge. If and when, folks. If and or when. Oof, Spectre's not lacing me with a good time right now, man. Getting rid of him, I think we'll be right where we want to be, folks. But that's a big if, the way he's playing. Thank God for shields. Thank God for energy attacks. Oof. Oof. Oh, there is a health that I'm neglecting. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm gonna die from the goddamn... Oh. Well, that wasn't the thing I was talking about dying from, but I died from it anyways. It's alright, though. We battle on. The physics is janky and wonky in this game, just like it was in TM1, except not just like it, because it's differently wanky and funny. As you may have just noticed, when I got hit by that missile, I did not bounce in the way that physics would imply. I bounced in a sort of I don't know if non-Euclidean is the word, but the trajectory was not.
When Propane Blunt said this was easy mode.
Yeah, well, it's easy mode when you don't suck. Me, I kind of suck right now, so here we are. So I'm gonna tap right back into that, though. We're gonna keep on trucking. Let me just look up Axel's password.
R.I.P.
Yeah, you can't win them all, folks. Axel Amazonia Password. Wait, TM2. Triangle, 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 square, circle, circle. I don't want the AI version. I need the actual version. Hang on. Hang on, boys. Scrolling down, scrolling down. God, cheat websites back in the day. You gotta love it. Just gonna scroll down. Every character has their own whole slew of passwords for every individual level. Alright, so we'll talk about some early PS1 quirk. This was still in the era before memory cards were, memory cards were an option, but they weren't widely utilized. Every game basically assumed that you didn't have one. So in this game, there's no saving function of any kind. There are only passwords. There are only passwords. Let's see. Password. Oops. Invalid. Try that again. Yep. Triangle, triangle, square, circle, circle. Boom. And that should be all we need. Amazonia Firewalk, baby. Round 2. Yeah, so, let me think. What else have we not covered? The weapons in this game. So I talked about the weapon pickups being a little more visually enticing, which they certainly are. The weapons themselves, we have several new additions that would become mainstays in the franchise going forward after this. The Ricochet right here is one of them. Very useful weapon. So it's a ricochet, as the name implies, it bounces off of walls. Getting stronger at every wall it hits to a certain degree. But one of the most useful features of the Ricochet, which we're really going to show off in the next 2 levels following this one, is the knockback that is inherent with it. More so than the actual, Ricochet function of the weapon, it's the knockback that the Ricochet bomb has that makes it so useful if you know how to use it, if you're so inclined. Again, brand new to this game, and they've been a feature of every single Twisted Metal ever released ever since. Definitely iconic. We have the fire missile, once again, from the last game, as well as the homers and powers. And in this game, they still had not yet rectified the power balance. Wow, I got lucky there with how quickly that health spawned again. Totally random. The pop, as I said in the last video, so it should, it would make the most sense that the fire missile is just like the baseline missile, and then homers would be the weaker but, higher tracking version of the fire, and then the power missile is the most powerful but has the worst tracking, right? That's what you would think. That would make sense. It is still not the case in this game. The homers have the best tracking again, but they just do more damage than the fire missiles still. And I don't know if that was just like an accidental oversight, or if it was still deliberate at the time of this game. Honestly, I don't know. But yeah, homers are just supreme for murder in this game, and yeah, why would you use anything else if you could avoid it? Rear fire is another energy command that is very useful. Left, right, down. You can fire any weapon backwards, as opposed to, in TM1 you just have the rear fire missile, and that's all you get as far as options for firing to the rear. What else? The remote bomb. Remote bomb is a very useful tool. Very useful tool. We're going to see that quite a bit in the upcoming minion fight. We saw it in the last level when we blew up the Eiffel Tower. It's it's the most powerful weapon in the game, and you can set it and then forget it and then remember it and detonate it, or you can just leave it in a place where you know that people are destined to travel, and when they run over it, it will, they'll trigger it, and they die. Well, or they get very hurt. I have 2 of them, so I'll just showcase that here. Again, my cheat point spot. Cheap, not cheat. I use this spot a lot in the minion fight. Shadow will demonstrate. Let's just go to our sky cam right here. Well, just in time. So, yeah, it's just, it's somewhere they have to drive to even get to you. And, the AI can only do so much to circumvent you. Spectre is very annoying in Twisted Metal 1. He's way more annoying in this game. I would say it's pretty much universally acknowledged that he is the most annoying, the most tedious enemy to fight. Because in this game, even if you're not on hard mode, the enemies just love to spam their special weapons at you. Basically, relentlessly, ad infinitum. Spectre, having the ghost missile that travels through walls, when he starts doing that, it's just, there's only so much you can do. That missile will find you, and it will kill you when it hits you for the 17th time in a row with no respite in between, And there's just only so much you can do about that happening to you. So, taking him down first is typically advisable. Sweet Tooth would be the other just really relentlessly annoying enemy that he just chain spams his ice cream cones. And it's just annoying just audibly hearing the over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. But then you have 13 fucking clown cones just humming at you, buzzing for your dome. So yeah, it's good to be wary of that. The freeze blast, you really just can't say enough good things about the ubiquity of its relevance. What a useful left, right, up maneuver. Last year's boss rises from the lava. I must win. Calypso and I have a score to settle, he yells, as he comes after you with a vengeance. So, we're going to use... Well, first we're going to get homing missiles, because you just always want homing missiles. Always.
Filet mignon.
Filet mignon, baby. So, while we're waiting to fillet our boy, let me showcase. This is this turn in place that I was talking about, right? You can see I'm just holding the brake and I'm just turning on a dime. Cannot do that in TM1, tragically. But one of the notable improvements that this game graced us with. So, Minion is going to... Ooh, I thought he was going to go over the health in the bridge. Amazingly, he didn't. So let's lure him to us. I'm going to try to freeze him in his tracks, hit him with 6 homers, freeze him again, and then let him hit the remote bomb, and then we'll repeat the process. If he does make it up the ramp, nice. Axle power. He fell off the backside. Now I'm going to go get the health. Going to get some pickups just to get ready, because so in New York there are no turbos. So you know, and New York is kind of a crazy clusterfuck of a level. You want to come as prepared as you can in general for that level. Just period across the board. Full power. Axle power. Homers, I should start stocking up now, actually, because Holland, yeah, you want to have as many homers as you can. That's all I can say, boys. So that's why I stalled there. I don't want to kill minion yet. I need to get more homing missiles first. Well, ideally. From this point, there isn't as pressing of a need for remote bombs. Let's see, did I get them?
Holland is brutal.
Holland is brutal. I have faith, though. Axel is a great Holland vehicle. I don't think I really need 7 napalms. Well, Antarctica has a good amount of homing pickups. Not a great amount, but it has some. I definitely want to keep my Ricos. Of course, we're going to showcase the classic Rico exploit in Holland. Why not? Well, yeah, here we go. In Antarctica, I should say, sorry. That's if we get there, though. We have to get to New York
went
first.
to bed.
That's all right. I'm glad that he stuck around as long as he did. You know, Saturday night is early night. I get it. You know, everybody's got things to do in the morning. Psych. Okay. Before we get this started, we have the Statue of Liberty right here. Nice. Oh, Roadkill is another free spammer. I hope he doesn't hit me with this goddamn free spam blast. He's trying, though. He's trying. Alright. Oh, the Shield of Truth. Can I get to the Elevator of Destiny, though? The Elevator of Destiny. This is the one full heal that this level provides you. Can I fall to it? It's my only chance. Wow. We made it. Okay. Oh, Grim, dude. Don't fuck with me like that, bro. Don't you fuck with me like that, Poppy. I shouldn't even be waiting like this. It's kind of reckless. Way better spot. I can just hang with the Rico. But, oh, Mr. Freeze, he got me. I'm fucked. No, he can't settle. He couldn't settle. Love that he couldn't. Alright, I need to go get some health. So I'm going to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to lure a couple of enemies to their death, for lack of better words. This is one of many choke points you can use. They're guaranteed to jump from adjacent buildings onto this parking garage of sorts, and then they're going to drive down this ramp, and we're going to just blast them with the Rico, demonstrating its pushback power into the, abyss below. Sometimes you have to wait. Sometimes you have to drive a little bit to provoke them to come to you, but they do come. So here's Mr. Slamson. Come on, buddy. One of the most satisfying people to just push away to the abyss.
And Axel just started blasting.
That's right. Boom. Alright, now we need to get some more Rico Suave in the mix. Definitely need as many homers as we can get, as we determined in the last level. Sweet Tooth has potential for fuckism. But Axel, with his push pop power to prod them into the sky, gives us a little bit of extra mechanism, extra dimension, if you will, to just fuck around and let them find out the hard way. Oh, how's my weapon bay full? What the fuck? 8 powers. 9 napalms, though. That's just obtuse. Just obtuse. We want as many Ricos as we can get, because we have similar exploitation to provide in Antarctica coming up.
You stocked up a lot.
So, the Statue of Liberty here. Depending on, I believe it's depending on the type of missile you hit her with. So I just hit her once, saw the flame got lit, right? Wait for it. It's either going to be the Fat Lady or it's going to be... It is the Fat Lady. Hang on. Oh, no. That was very lucky. It's not out of the water yet, though. Come on there, Here we go. So there's also an iteration of the Statue of Liberty that is not fat. And I can't remember if it's depending on if it's pertinent to the type of missile or if it's just random. We'll try again when there is one less enemy to deal with here. Roadkill with his love of the freeze, or Twister with her love of just being an obnoxious menace. Either one can be deadly. Come on, go! Yes! Oh, that was close. A little too close. Yeah, so this level is the second rooftop level in Twisted Metal history. First iterated in the first game. Classic mainstay level type for the Twisted Metal series going forward, where you have to be very careful so you don't fall to your death. Yeah, the rooftop level in TM1 is iconic in its own right. And then this, I personally do prefer. But you have, the rooftop level in TM1 is also iconic in its own right, with the, glass pyramid. It looks like the Luxor Casino in Las Vegas. Also where you fight Minion in TM1, very iconic level. I need to dive back into TM1 and show off the last two levels at some point for a, follow-up re-review, because we didn't get to showcase them the first time, and those are two very, very important levels to the game. Probably the best two levels in the game. I didn't even get to show them off last time, so a lot of unfinished business. But this level itself, I think, is just a superior rooftop level. I think it's more fun. It's more dynamic. I love all the little, just different areas of this interconnected rooftop landscape that we have. Teleporters have not talked about yet. Teleporters introduced in this game, and they're not really featured in that many Twisted Metals. TM3 has them. TM4 has them. I don't remember if Small Brawl does. I just got a copy of Small Brawl on PS1, and I'm about to tap back into that game for the first time in 20 years. Definitely the game that's been the longest since I've played it. I don't think that game has teleporters, but it might. But yeah, that's a huge thing. That's another thing. As a kid, I just thought the teleporters were so cool. Not at all a thing in TM1. There was really no need for them, honestly, because those levels are so flat and boring. Where were they going to bring you? These levels are way more interesting, just across the board, and lots of more verticality incorporated in them. Little nooks, crannies, and beyonds that the teleporters definitely are warranted, I think. Hang on. Get rid of this dumb shit. We want as much turbo as we can before Holland. We want as many Ricos as we can for right now. And we want as many homers as we can possibly take with us to get through the onslaught in Holland, if and when we make it there. So let's see what happens. I'm going to highlight a classic exploit that, pretty much everybody who plays this game knows about, but it's fun and it's funny. and it's just a good time. So there's an island in this level that the one teleporter from the mainland here services. And from here, you just position yourself like so and wait for the enemies to come through the one-way channel via the teleporter, and you just Rico them off the edge, as we showcased in the last level. And it sometimes takes a while, but you just trust me, they will come. Believe you me, believe me you. This is what we do. Whoa.
I
Nice.
trust you.
Appreciate it. Glad somebody does. Oh, I missed Mr. Grimmy. Mr. Grimsby. Why do you do this to me? It's alright, we're gonna go right back for round 2. I would like to leave this level with 20 homers if I can. I will settle for 16. I will settle for 16. Fucking inventory cap. It's embarrassing. Should know better. You know, I really should. So this level has its own very unique quirk, where the whole level is kind of segmented into these different, I don't know, hexagons roughly, that, you know, you can see the perforation of the ice between them, and they sequentially just fall off as like avalanche style natural occurrences, I guess, throughout the playtime. And so if you wait long enough, Antarctica Life, if you wait long enough, the level does whittle down into just this very small core segment of level. Yeah, I don't know if we're necessarily going to sit around and wait for that to happen here, but trust me that it does. Ooh, can we blast him away? Can we blast him away?
Joe M came back.
Wow, I got fucked up, huh? Whoopsie daisy. That sucks because I just lost 15 homers, man. Ooh, it's going to be a rough Holland, but for the sake of the review, we're just trucking on. If I die, I will use passwords to get back to where we were, baby. See, look at that. You see it shaking like this? So this platform is about to fall. Very cool type of level dynamic, you know, especially coming from just the heels of how basic, bitch, and boring that the TM1 levels were. Yeah, you'll love to see it. You know, they really unleashed the creativity in this game level-wise, and I would say that above anything else, I think the level design is the major defining factor of this game that makes it so different from TM1. You know, and even just, right, again, I didn't get a chance to talk about LA as much because I got through the level while ranting about other stuff, and I didn't get a chance to just rant about the level itself and how awesome it is. I think it's the best opening level of any Twisted Metal game that has yet existed. Los Angeles TM2, that is. It's got a little bit of everything, kind of. You know, and it has this central mesa in the middle where all types of battles can and will occur. It's got this outer ring around it that kind of calls back to that freeway level of TM1 that I showed off on the review of that game. And then it's got that little cage area with the bridge you can blow up to the full health. It's got the tunnel section. It's got the, you know, the teleporter on top of one of the tunnel sections that brings you to that cage. It's got the little flame pits. All this just interesting, like, evidence of previous Twisted Metal tournaments. Whoops. Passwords.
Mark, as a Sega fan, you need to play Yakuza 0.
I need to play Yakuza, just period, I think. But do you really think that...
See you later, emoji victory sign.
Nice. That sounds good to me. You don't want to watch Holland, Joe, before you dip? Holland's going down, baby. It's going down like Chinatown. And I have no fucking homers for it, so it should be interesting. But most likely it's just going to be a password restart. Rinse, repeat. But yeah, LA, excellent level. Excellent level. The music. Oh, the music. Well, we'll talk about the music in a minute.
Zero is the one to start with. It's a prequel.
Well, I figured it's a prequel, but I feel like prequels are often best experienced when you come to them after having the base content. Like, you know what I mean? Just because something is chronologically first doesn't mean it's meant to be experienced first or best experienced first. You know, like a Tarantino movie, it's out of chronological order, but it's usually put in the order that we see those scenes for a reason. My personal opinion. So this level has 9 enemies. This is the true calling card of any TM2 champion to be, or otherwise. You know, it's just a chaotic clusterfuck. There's a lot of RNG involved in basically every single moment of this battle. Sometimes you can just be playing immaculately and you still get fucked, and then skull fucked, and then skull fucked again. And there's just not much you can do sometimes. Yeah, but it's chaos, and this is a game that certainly thrives in chaos. Health pickups. So we talked about in TM1 how the only health you can reobtain is through those little health ramps, and there's no pickups. In this game, there's no more health ramps. It's just the pickups. And, you know, they're handy, but they can also easily be picked up by the enemy, and that often happens, and it's never intentional on their part. It's just they're in the, you know, they're going somewhere, and it's I missed the full, I got the full health right before. I've never seen that happen before. Wow, I'm so glad that got captured for the sake of this review. Oh god, die, you fuck. Dude, wow, I suck. Alright, Spectre, don't do this to me, buddy. Well, I'm dead. But at least I got that full health as the thing was fucking imploding. The enemies in this game, they will often drive over healths by accident just because they're trying to get to you, or they're otherwise maneuvering around the level. And it's just part of the game, you know? For better or for worse. Alright, let's get back into our Holland password. And, nope. Let's try that again. So, if I can muster the ability to not be terrible.
Other pickups as well.
Oh yeah, 100% they do. But again, they're not scripted to. You know, they have unlimited of every weapon, and they don't have a energy attack bar that depletes like you do. They can just spam freezes with no cost or charge, relentlessly, infinitely. You know, but they will take your pickups away from you if you let them. And again, it's not intentional. They just are driving towards you and they hit stuff. You know, so. Hold on 1 second here. Circle, X, circle, triangle, circle, circle, start. And let's see. Ooh, second time in a row, no Sweet Tooth in Holland. It's incredible, but also, honestly, I feel like for the sake of review purposes, I feel like we want Sweet Tooth on this level, because it's the best showcase of just how fucking relentlessly annoying he can be. There's nowhere to hide on Holland, right? And Sweet Tooth Special they'll just stack up and roam around and haunt you until they hit you. and they will hit you. You know, it's so this is one of the few levels I would say where it's actually you want to take care of Sweet Tooth before Spectre, just like full stop.
You can
100%.
reload the level and hope for Sweet Tooth.
Yeah, I could, but where's the RNG in that? Where is the RNG in that, Rob? We'll see Sweet Tooth in Hong Kong. I have no doubts or qualms about that whatsoever. Alright, let's kick some fucking ass, huh? Boom, boom. Ooh, let me get some health, please. Another one. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Spectre's about to die. Thumper's a fucking bitch. No one else poses too significant of a threat. I would say I'm my own biggest threat.
Frozen Ashtray Life.
Frozen ashtray life. I think my life is a frozen ashtray. Boom, boom, boom. No more turbo, huh? Alright, that's fine. We don't need no turbo where we're going. Okay. Outlaw. Outlaw's a tricky one in this game because she will hide in the background and do basically nothing until you take out every other enemy, and then it's just her, and then she starts going or trying to go 0 to 100 on your ass. And it can be annoying if you're not prepared to, you know, counter her multitude of fuckery. I'm prepared to counter her multitude of fuckery. But, just, you know, word to the wise. Alright, rear fire for the win. Get some shield up in this bitch. Oh, am I about to die again? No, sah. I just need a little bit of luck from not getting hit by a Rico. Maybe a health to regenerate? Wouldn't be so bad. But, not gonna fucking knock on wood or anything here, friends. Alright. Oh. That got a little lucky. I got really lucky with that homer not hitting. And now we do have a health. Can I get there in time? Wow.
Slab, 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 slab.
Yeah. That's what she said. Nice. Great remote right there. Great remote right there, friends. Alright, I'm feeling good about this. I'd be feeling better if I didn't just have fucking fire missiles to my name, friends. But you know what? We gotta work with what we got. Oof. It's okay. Ooh, I like that fire missile. Nice. The RNG gods have graced us. Graced us. Oh, I can't see the bitch. Come on.
Where's the RNG in that?
Wow, and I'm gonna die at the end. Ooh. The RNG is the respawn rate of any pickup is just totally RNG. Literally, as soon as you pick it up, it could respawn instantly. It might not respawn for 10 minutes. Any pickup. It's just how it is.
Close call.
Close call indeed. Close call indeed. So, Hong Kong Crunch. This is the 8th and final level. Sweet Tooth appeared as I called he would. Yeah, so this is another grid city. This is the more closely resembling true grid city to the last game. Where, yeah, I mean, you'll see. It's very blatantly a grid city. There's just no other way to call it. But they add some very cool distinctors in this game that none of the 2 iterations in the last game had. There is a waterfront area, which we'll showcase, maybe exploit some enemy deaths in, because it's very fun to do that. There is also, hang on, got to do a little bit of health pruning. Got to churn myself for greatness here. Oh, that fucker. Nice. Quell. Oh, she did it again to me. Well. Yeah, so there's a little dock area, which is very fun to fuck around at. And you can get people, there's ramps in that dock area, which you can use to your advantage to get the enemies to drive over this little fence that you're about to see. That fence, you know, on the other side, if you drive over that into the water, they actually programmed it in. You sink into the water and then explode. It doesn't matter who it is that happens to. It can even happen to Darktooth, who is its own upcoming rant. God, what a badass Darktooth is. You know, coolest car in this iteration. Coolest car in the history of the Twisted Metal franchise, in my opinion. Love motherfucking Darktooth. Oof, I should have had him with the rear napalm. But yeah, we'll get to Darktooth when we come to him. We're going to go on the subway right now. Not quite as glorious or as glamorous as the one that we have here in Boston, Massachusetts. But pretty cool in its own right. And it's just a big loop of its own. But it's got its own subway cars. The jump energy attack, which I haven't talked about too much, has some very unique uses in this game. One of which is you can actually get on top of the subway cars if you time it right. And if you land on the subway car and you stay on it for a bit, there's another type of bonus that gets you a little bit of health, but also gives you specials. Oof, I just almost killed myself. Yeah, the subway cars can also fuck you up, so you gotta be careful. And there's, if you can see, there's actually a little code on top of the subway car. And that was supposed to be one of the ways that you, I forget which code it is, and I don't have enough health to risk trying to do it right now. Maybe later. One of the codes, you know, so Sweet Tooth and Minion are both 4-button codes that you enter on the character select screen to unlock. And then there are a few secret bonus levels in this game. One of which is from Jetmoto, who these developers, you know, are also the developers of that very fucking iconic classic game that I will review at a later date. And then there's 2 levels from TM1 that you can access through codes. Oh, hang on. Oh, I gotta get this health. Will I get to the health before I die? Is a good question. I don't know. It's a full health. That's it. Nice. Alright. Get rid of him. Had to get rid of that. It's another kind of cheap, but, you know, kind of strategic camping locale. See who comes up to us. I got him at an angle. If I can freeze him, I can do some good combo mambo type of funk. So, let's let him come to us. Come on, Mr. Kill. Come on, Mr. Roadhead. Let's go, Poppy. Don't make me come to you, buddy. Boom. Awesome to have him gone. He sucks. Sweet Tooth really sucks, but, you know, I'll deal with him on my own time. If he has the balls. Alright, well, we did a good chunk. Good chunk. should be a few more healths just kind of lying in wait for us. Oh, this dumb bitch. No. Where's my turbo? Come on, Poppy. Them power missiles, though. Shit. You know about them apples, bitch. Alright, Sweet Tooth wants to die. That much I already know. Oh, I guess I want to die too, though. Fuck. Thought we had it, boys. Well, you can see I'm a little bit rusty. But I think this is going to be the time. It's going to be the time. So let's just finish the job while we are so close to success. The music in this game. Yeah, really cannot say enough about it. Hang on. Password. Boom. It's so good. It's so good. Even just this menu music, which is itself a different remix of the original Twisted Metal theme from TM1 than the one that features, you know, in the Darktooth fight and in the very intro splash screen, etc. But each level in this game has such an individually iconic, unique soundtrack. And we have a lot of, you know, rockin' boppin' numbers. Again, LA, that iconic music from just the opening LA level is so, that's one of the most PS1 audio themes I can think of off the top of my head anytime I'm thinking about like just iconic Sony PlayStation music of any kind. And then in Moscow we have more of a almost like more of a Jet Moto-ish theme. Very awesome in its own way. Hang on, let me take care of this fucker. There we go. Paris having like the little Frere Jacques remix, and then Amazonia we get back into some more of the sort of ambient music. New York and Antarctica kind of also follow that template, and then in Holland we have the, you know, literally a song from Jet Moto, from Blackwater Falls, the iconic racetrack. And, you know, Jet Moto 2 came out, or no, sorry, Jet Moto 1 came out the same year as this game, TM2, did. So, yeah, I get that they would, you know, share a track here or there. And then right here, we just have, you know, an excellent Oriental soundscape for the soundtrack, I guess you could say. I just think they did a great job up in the ante, and the soundtrack was already excellent as fuck in TM1, but just for the whole World Tour theme, I think they knocked it out of the park. Yeah, one of the most impeccable PS1 soundtracks that there ever was, really. So yeah, I mean, musically and level design wise and aesthetically, this game just ups the ante in so many ways over its predecessor. Yeah, and I still suck. But what I just said was true. You know, it's one of the things that just makes it such a worthy sequel and such a defining, you know, video game for the human race. Truly, truly a defining video game for the human race. Twisted Metal 2, 1996 for the Sony PlayStation. This motherfucker. You better miss. Better fucking miss. That's right, buddy. Oh my god, if I die this close back to back, I might just have to end the run. Nah. Ugh. The fucking weapon distance timeout. I can't not talk about that. And of course, it's only relevant for you, the player. Right? But so, weapons that you fire, it's, I believe, again, kind of a RAM limitation thing. But weapons that you fire have a distance timeout where, if the enemy's too far away, even if your weapon that you fired connects to them, it's not going to do any damage. But, of course, that's only the case for you damaging them. Anything that they fire at you that hits you will damage you. And there's no damage cut off, drop off, none of that when you are on the receiving end of it. So, it just is what it is. Alright. Heads back in the game, my friends. Drop mines coming in clutch. See if, oh, we do have the full health. That's very clutch. So I'm gonna fuck around with these losers. Let them come into my trap. Grasshopper at least. Maybe Warthog. Take a decent dent out of both of them. That'd be great. And then we can go get healed. Or not. Yeehaw. Alright, where's she hiding? Come on. Let's go. What are you doing? Okay, let's see what someone else is doing. Yeah, see you later. See you later, Poppy. Alright. Come on there, Hammerhog. You know what? I'm not gonna sit here and wait. Too many fish to fry. Too many cooks. Let's go. Ooh, Thumper's doing a little bit of work for us. We love to see that, folks. Come on, boys. That worked out very nicely. Outlaw, though. Oh, man, she can fuck around. She can fuck around. Do not underestimate her. Do not underestimate her. Dodged a freeze bullet there, boys. Rob M, are you still with us? Hopefully the broadcast didn't time out on me.
No.
R.I.P. Oh. Alright, we got a health. Just gotta get to it. Could also use some more weapons for the impending grand showdown with big homie Darktooth. But, you know, you only do so much sometimes, friends. Alright. I just need to stock up on some weapons. If we can get back into the subway, that would be a great time to do that. If we can get back into the subway. Hammer. Well, come on. Let's get some health. Oof, that was just not great. Could have blown it all right there, friends. Damn, I thought that would, you know. Sometimes you can luck out with strategically, you know, using certain weapons through certain walls, certain surfaces, but other times you're not so fortunate. Either way. Alright, it's basically cleanup time. Oh, no. Well, no, it's time for me to die. No, it's not. Nice. Alright, let's get rid of this fucker. Okay, had to get rid of that. Oof. Dangerous.
Everybody says start with Yakuza 0.
Do they? Everybody, eh? Well, I ain't everybody. But yeah, we'll talk more about Yakuza another time. Fuck. Nice. That was huge. Let's go. I'm just gonna wait for this motherfucker. Here he comes.
Food. We need food.
Oh! Did you see that? Did you see that? We do need food. We need food. Alright. Well, for the sake of keeping this condensed and short, I'm just going to do a Darktooth level password to skip right to him. That was fucking tragic right there. But I should have known that, you know, it is a thing on the upper pagoda in Hong Kong that they can hit you through the floor from certain angles. So I should have known that was coming. Let's see. But yeah, I'm just going to go right to Darktooth so we can do a quick little showdown and wrap this up real quick. So,
1 hour 30 minutes is not condensed or short.
Whoopsie daisy. Has it already been that long? Well, either way, folks. Maybe I'll have to do some further editing. I don't really believe in doing editing. But, yeah. Certain times, certain measures, you know. Or however the saying goes. Oops, that was not the right password. Square. Darktooth. So, this motherfucker is terrifying. Especially when you're a little kid. Fucking badass. Absolutely psychotic. Absolutely unhinged. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Just everything about this fucker. I mean, look at this guy, dude. Just flies all around the place, jumping around, shooting his fucking flaming head at you while this goddamn two-defied fucking Twisted Metal remix plays at you the entire time. I mean, this fucker is just something else. He's got his own giant motherfucking ricochets. Yeah. He will fuck you up if you let him. If you know the way that this game works, it's not that hard to exploit him. Drop mines actually come in incredibly useful here. So do remote bombs. But, you know, let me stop sucking at the game so I can attempt to showcase some of this stuff. Oh, and see, oh, he just fucked up. Well, I just fucked up. He just got one of the healths that, now in this level, one of the main healths just kind of spawns right in the main intersection. And, yeah, he just got that. You know, no fault of his own. He was just trying to chase me. And, it was just there. So, can't really fault Darktooth for that one. But, everything else, I can. Oop, oh, I'm just being bad. Just being dumb. Being a novice. Need to stop doing that. Napalms are huge in this battle because, you know, if you're near him, you kind of can't miss. Alright, yeah, so, case in point, he just kind of fucked me up, but we got him almost down to half health after, you know, he healed back from where we damaged him to the first time. So, let's clean it on up, folks. This is a fight where you definitely want to have weapons at your disposal. Now you can freeze him, as I just did. Always good to freeze the fucker. Am I about to die again? I need to not. But I'm probably gonna. Not good. If I can get to the inner sanctum, or even just the subway, we might have a chance at not going to the final life. But it's Darktooth, he's gonna teleport on in here, and I'm gonna get fucked up. Most likely. Before I can kill. We'll see, though. We'll see. Oh, does it not respawn? Fuck. For some reason no, I haven't even got the full health yet, so I just didn't get to it. That's fine. That's alright. So, when you take down Darktooth, he leaves behind the flaming head that you then have to fight in a quick subsequent fight. It's almost like the, you know, true final Sephiroth fight in Final Fantasy VII that you can't really lose. And it's more just for like cinematic purposes. But the flaming head fight you can actually lose. It's just he's way weaker than base Darktooth. So we'll showcase that real quick. But wait, what's this? Inside the giant head, you see the shriveled figure of an old man. Heads up, you freak! The senile fool screams. And here he comes. So there he is, just the standalone head. Of course, my freeze is not enough. And I'm already fucking up. Like, I should have had him dead. It's an interesting hitbox that this version of Darktooth's head has. He's not exactly... See, where I just hit him, where he froze, is what his actual hitbox is. I'm gonna die. Holy shit. Well, almost. His hitbox is very interesting, though. Because when he launches at you with the little special that he does, it's not actually accurate as to his real hitbox. Hold on. I'm trying to focus here. Need this. Drop mines are very useful on both forms of this fight. You can pretty much, if you're patient enough, you can win with any character just by, you know, planting mines and luring Darktooth through the paths of this, again, very grid-like city. Case in point. And here we go. There's Axel's little epilogue. Incredible story. Incredible story. And let's just see how it goes.
Axel
GG.
stood before me and asked me for the one prize he wanted more than anything. The strength to face his father, who had bound him in this hellish contraption over 30 years ago.
Why have you come back? I thought I'd gotten rid of you.
Father, please, release me.
You were always too slow, too damn stupid, and you still are. Gonna take 10 more years on the wheels to set you right. You need to be taught a lesson.
No, Father, I've learned my lesson.
Let me show you what I've learned. Oh my God. Oh no. Oh my God.
Well, fuck. I accidentally hit the controller with my foot, and it cut off the very ending of the ending. But the case in point is that, yeah, ouch, indeed. Axel rips his own arms out of his contraption he's been bound to, and kind of just marches off into a cornfield. Yeah, iconic. Axel was actually the first character that I ever beat this game with myself. He was my favorite as a kid. Well, then Mr. Slam. But he was my first favorite. And Axel, you know, if you look at the cover art of this game, it was kind of like they were trying to make him like the new like main character almost, which is why his ending is one of the ones where it's not like his wish backfires on him or something. He just like has this awesome fucking heroic, you know, stand-up confrontation against his father who had imprisoned him in this like weirdo torture device for years or something. If you look at the cover of the game, you can see it. His car is clearly like the front and center showpiece of the cover art for TM2. In place of where like same angle, the cover art is like the same exact angle of TM1, except it's instead of Sweet Tooth, it's Axel, and then you know you have other cars in the background, Slam and Twister, etc. At this point, it like I guess, I mean you still have Sweet Tooth's clown head, you know, on the cover art behind the Twisted Metal 2 logo. And clearly on the main menu and stuff, and you have Darktooth as the final boss. So I don't know if it is fair to say that Axel was supposed to be like the new main character. Very clearly, Sweet Tooth was already iconic by this point for the franchise, but Axel was definitely like a co-main character, or at least seemingly trying to be. There's Darkseid we just saw real quick as we flew by. And Darkseid was also supposed to be in this game and then cut for whatever reason, tragically. In one of these option menus, there is still remnants of the one. Like, see right now, that's you know, basically seemingly Roadkill's iteration before they settled on the version that we actually play as in the game. But then one of these, is it in history? Yeah, so there's Darkseid, who we don't sadly see in any true form in this game. And it's alleged that, you know, Granny Dread originally was going to be the driver of Darkseid in this game, which, you know, in TM3 is the case. Or no, sorry, in TM3 it's Granny Dread is Hammerhead. But that concept of an old lady driving a, you know, crazy big vehicle allegedly was going to be the case for the original Darkseid iteration in this game that got scrapped for whatever reason. And then this car, so this Roadkill variant, it's basically pretty obvious if you've watched the Twisted Metal TV show, Season 1, the Roadkill that we encounter, without saying too much. seems pretty modeled after this one here. But yeah, so that's Twisted Metal 2. I'm going to end it there. I'm going to end the stream here. I hope everyone who was watching had a decent time. And I may or may not edit this down before I post it. I might just post it as it is. No one's going to watch this shit anyway, so we will see. Either way, folks, yeah, great carnage as always. And we'll catch you next time, next wormhole, next world. Peace.